Hello, lovely people. I haven't done a YouTube video like this in a while, so here we are. We've just come to the end of a 10-week group coaching program. It's my Embody Your Joy Somatic coaching and creativity program for women. And yeah, I can't believe it's been 10 weeks. What? So it was our final week this week, and I've been getting some feedback from people and just reflecting on the program as a whole. And what I have noticed and what's come up, especially with this time round, is that this program has really resonated with people who would maybe see themselves as a perfectionist, people who are kind of scared of failing or getting it wrong or struggle with that. Like, it's not always a conscious thing, or like, oh, I'm a perfectionist. People don't always know that about themselves, but there's just this like feeling of, I really want to do that, but something's stopping me. And, from my experience, it is this fear of just getting it wrong, or of like saying something that isn't right, especially with doing videos like this. There's a lot of pressure. It can feel like a lot of pressure to put something out there into the world. And, people are mean. People are going to say stuff. But, this can be just within our day-to-day lives, where it's not really about anybody else, it's just about us and our own perceptions and our own inner world, and what we have learned, what our past experiences have taught us, how people have responded in the past, and what we have learnt or taken on from those experiences. And what's the word? Not embodied. I guess it's a type of embodiment, yes, of like embodying the need to be perfect and for everything to be right and to be in control. So that's what's come up. And this program was already aimed at women who struggle with this. When we did the week on the inner striver, it really resonated with them. There was a real like, oh, okay, yeah, that's me. And we didn't get to the inner striver until about week 8, I think it was. And the inner critic was also something that people really resonated with. And when we are looking at these concepts and these kind of archetypes and personas, I guess, and the parts within us, we are looking at how to work with them. So we're looking at 2 things, how has this part been impacting me? How does this part show up in my life? What does this mean to me? Does it resonate? Does it not? How does it impact my connection to joy, my embodiment of joy? Because that's what the program is, Embody Your Joy. So there are these kind of 2 sides to it, of looking at what might be going on for you and building up that awareness and context around your life, and then looking at, well, how do we work with these parts, recognizing that they're not enemies, they're not, they're trying to protect us, they are doing their duty, they're doing their best. And remembering that we are all human and we all have this, not all, but the majority of us have this experience and this feeling about ourselves, and it just shows up in different ways. We can all label ourselves as the perfectionist, but it will show up in different ways based on who you are and your lived experiences. So it's where was I going with that? So when we are looking at how to work with these parts, we do somatic explorations around meeting them, how they show up, getting to know them, maybe asking them questions, or maybe just allowing it to come into our awareness, allowing our bodies to rest, to soften, and then allowing for movement, for expression, for gesture, for the subtleties of our body, of our soma, to allow space for, or soften resistance against, or tune into what actually wants to happen, to alchemize that experience that we've had, or compost it so that we can make space for something new. And it's been really interesting to add this in and see how helpful it has been for people. So we talked about the overstriver, the overdoing, the really trying to work hard to get, it's like working hard to get joy into your life, and then actually realizing that that's just making you exhausted, and you're just chasing something, you're chasing your tail, you're not able to bring it in because there's this fear of it being wrong. There is no wrong way of connecting with joy, and that is something that has come out of this for people, is that joy isn't something to work towards, or it's not this big feeling of elation and wow, life is great and everything's perfect. It's not that kind of joy. It's a spectrum. So it could be that, but also it's meeting yourself where you're at every single day, which is going to be different, and different experiences and life challenges and stuff is going to come up. Meeting yourself and then connecting with joy from that space. So having that spectrum of joy, of what are my low energy days, what are my joyful prompts or connections or activities, or how do I bring a little joy in? And then from there we can recognize when our overstriver is coming up in the need to perfect the way that we connect with joy, or like if we have a daily practice of connection and embodiment and support for ourselves, how will we, that can become something to achieve and to strive for and to overdo, or to just completely ignore and disregard because we're not doing it right. We feel like we're not doing it perfectly. So it's been really wonderful to hear that people have come away from this recognizing the overstriver, knowing that the striver isn't bad, and actually there is this optimal way of functioning. The striver can be there to help us get up and go, to help us do, to help us achieve what we want to achieve. It's that inner fire and passion, but it doesn't tip us over into burnout or doing too much and not allowing for space to rest and pause and to make mistakes as well. Over the 10 weeks, people have learnt that joy isn't something to strive for. Joy is something that we can bring in to really resource us and support us, no matter what the weather internally, no matter what is going on around us. And it's not a toxic positivity thing, but it's a real sense of, it's a compassionate joy. I think it's a real sense of of caring, of nurturing, of tender compassion and fierce compassion. What do I have capacity for? And learning our cycles and rhythms, and that some days are going to be tough and some days are going to be easier. Some days you're not going to feel a lot of joy, And that's okay, but it's not about disregarding it completely. I'm going to end it here because I don't want to go on forever, but I will definitely pop back with some reflections, and Embody Your Joy is going to start again, so there will be an autumn container. It starts in October 2026 and it will be 10 weeks, and I will be tweaking it based on what came out of this round, and it is forever evolving. And yeah, it feels really exciting to be sharing this and seeing where it goes. And I really hope that you can join me. It is an online program, so you can tune in from wherever you are. I'll drop details below, and I will check back in another day. Bye.